on Bricks here for another video, and today I will be doing a bit of a special video since it is, of course, the 31st of October, or Halloween, and I'm not a big celebrator of this holiday, but I am going to be doing something special on the channel because Ninjago did something special about 5 years ago on October 29th of 2016. We did get Day of the Departed, of course. And so today, me and a couple of my friends in this community will be discussing our opinions and our thoughts, of course, on the Day of the Departed special. And I'll go ahead and have my two guests introduce themselves.
Hey guys, I am the Brick Lord, and some of you probably remember me or recognize me. Me and Bricks on Bricks have done a collab on my channel, and we have done plenty of stuff together, so definitely great to be back and excited to talk about Day of the Departed.
Hi guys, I'm Blueberry Comics. I have a channel where I review comics, movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. I haven't uploaded anything recently, but who knows, maybe I'll start doing videos again. And yeah, I'm really excited to do this Day of the Departed review and discussion.
Alright, so this video will be brief. We will just be going through the plot, our pros and cons, and we will each give the installments a score out of 10. We'll try to keep this as brief as we can, but we won't rush it. We won't talk fast or anything like that. But yeah. So basically, I did rewatch this last night, and I'll just real quick give the brief premise of it. You guys probably already know, obviously, but the special opens with some dumb intro with the ninjas pretending it's, oh no, it's intense, we have to go stop a villain. Oh yeah, actually no, we're just trying to get lanterns. Yeah. And then, if you guys want to chime in at some point here, if you remember anything, but yeah, and so then yeah, the intro, dudes, that's
Oh my gosh, it was such a disaster. I mean, okay, either do it right and make it funny to be funny, or do it intense and make it intense. They totally
or don't do it at all, or don't do it at all, maybe.
Yeah, or don't. Yeah. If you guys have seen the Chinese version, this scene was in it, but it came after an actual intense intro of them training and showing off their elemental powers, which I wish we got in this English version. But anyway, I'll go ahead and get into what we see next. So, after they get their lanterns, they get to go on a tour of the museum, and we get to see the statues of the old villains that will, of course, be resurrected later in the special. And then Cole is, he just can't be seen by anyone, basically drifting away, and, you know, no one sees him. They basically walk right through him when he's, around the, what's the blade called? Dang it. It should,
the yin blade.
Yin blade, yeah.
That's what I thought. I just did not trust my instincts there.
You watched this. You watched this yesterday. I haven't watched it in a while, and I remember the name of it.
Yeah, come on, man. No. Yeah, I mean, the yin blade is just not a very memorable weapon, but
yeah, that's true though. Yeah, that's true.
And so then the ninjas just leave, completely forgetting about Cole's existence.
Yeah,
yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, how do you forget?
I mean, come on,
brother. They fought in wars in a world-ending event in season 2, and they just forgot him after.
Yeah, no, they fought together in a war in Corridor of Elders, and you know, they literally, you know, they were brothers through and through throughout season 5. So like,
it doesn't make sense.
And it doesn't. Yeah, maybe they could. Yeah, maybe they could have been they could have explained it more if they had more time, but it was kind of weird at first. But yeah, we just had to suspend our disbelief for a minute, so that
it was just dumb. But then after, you know, we get that whole thing, the ninjas, Wu has some nice lines of dialogue. You know, we light lanterns to.
Yeah, was always nice.
Yeah,
that was some good dialogue.
Yeah, I actually like the concept. I think the concept is very cool, and the whole idea.
Man, I love that soundtrack though that we get right there.
And I also really like Wu reminiscing about the first Ninjutsu Master. It's pretty nice.
And also like everyone having a picture of their loved ones. For example,
Jay.
Nia and Kai having their parents, which is kind of it's kind of weird because in the next season they get to know them because it's revealed they're alive.
Yeah.
And Zane has a picture of his father.
He has a snow statue of Dr.
Yeah,
Julian.
it's a statue, and he
Yeah,
puts it
there was a statue, and
and he turns it into to an ice statue with his elemental powers.
yeah, it was actually a wholesome moment there with the lantern and everything.
And then obviously Jay's parents are actually still alive.
Yeah.
Same with, or at least with Cole's dad. So.
But obviously Cole isn't in this scene, and then also we have Dareth at some sort of concert. He's getting the band ready.
Oh yeah, we need more Dareth because that's all we need.
Yeah, Dareth is the best character ever from any media ever, so I guess that automatically makes it god tier level. So yeah.
Generic said you're wrong. Dareth is not a god. If you watch this video. No, dude. If you know what I should do? I should put like a time code in the comments if I do, but it probably won't. But also he says something like he tried to propose to Gail Gossip, but she kept turning down his marriage proposals.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Excellent provider.
Is that a thing? I didn't remember that at all. Was that a thing?
Yeah, it's weird. That was hilarious, dude. Dareth just and multiple. Has he tried to propose to her like 3 times and she keeps denying it?
Probably,
dude.
But oh well. Dareth. So
anyway, and then Ronan's in the audience and he's like, "I'm gonna go. If everyone's here, then
I'm gonna go steal some stuff. Of course."
Yeah, no one's at their homes, even though all he cared about really was stealing stuff from a place where the people were actually home.
Yeah, and junk. That's all he wanted to steal.
Dude,
I mean, really?
Why don't you go ahead and steal their money?
There's so many better things he could have stolen, but whatever.
I mean, yeah.
So.
Also, the songs and the songs as well as the background music were as always great. Like the Fold. It's the Fold. I mean, what did you expect? They're the best.
All right. Before we, we're not really too far through this. Basically, then Cole, confronts Yang, but then Yang has this weird, like, circle thing that's shaped like the moon or something on Day of the Departed, and then Cole accidentally hits it, and this weird ghostly substance goes and brings people back from the Departed realm, I guess.
Concept was great, but the execution, I think that maybe like if it was a season and every episode focused on one villain being brought back, I think that would be better. I don't know. It worked, but it could have been better.
The biggest thing with this installment is it had potential, and it was executed just so incredibly poorly.
Yeah, but then we have being like, this was my plan, The most generic, like.
Oh my god!
Generic, dude, that. Also, the one question is like, that came out of nowhere. Like he was just ready for Cole to come there. I mean, like some villains, it shows they're intelligent in different ways, not this random plot point that comes up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was so rushed and so random.
All right, but
Yang was. I think that we expected a lot from Yang because of season 5 and how menacing he was, and because he actually succeeded and he won basically in season 5 because Cole was turned into a ghost. But then in Day of the Departed, he wasn't as good as in season 5. I want to remember Yang, season 5 Yang, because he was It was amazing in season 5, in my opinion.
All right, now getting into basically all the villains approach the ninja with some line or something. They all secretly approach them, and at first we think Mora was actually going to be evil. And at first when Mora first
Kill
approaches
off Master Wu nearly,
Yeah.
but at least they did not ruin Moro's character.
Yeah, I respect them for not ruining him. That was a great pros.
And then Cole meets Master Yang's students, and he's like,
And there's one named Chuck.
comes later. Chuck is Pog. Chuck is Pog. Chuck is total Pog.
Oh god.
All right. Anyway, but also one thing while watching this last night, even though you guys seem to remember like more than me, but for some reason,
How is that possible, dude?
I'm sorry. It just shows how generic of an installment it is that I just couldn't remember it.
No. But we remember it, and I haven't watched it in like 2 years or something. Dude.
I wasn't even like dudes. I was a very new Ninjago fan 2 years ago. Like I've only been a Ninjago fan 2.5 years.
I've been a fan since 18. Like no, that's cap. 16.
Let's not.
Yeah, let's not waste it. Also, Kozu, he was completely he was completely pointless. I think that this whole story could have been erased from existence. Like we didn't need that.
Like, not that I absolutely love the original season 2 General Kozu, but yeah, the Day of the Departed one was absolute garbage.
Yeah, they botched him completely.
Anyway, right in also the one thing is Day of the Departed, there's a point where it pauses for a second in the episode. I'm thinking this could have been 2 22-minute episodes. When watching it, it's like so basically Cole's like, this is all your fault, Yang, and then Yang says, no, Cole, this is your fault. And then it just goes black for a second. I'm like, and then I look at the time, I pause it for a second, I'm like, we're 22 minutes in, so really, if they wanted to, they could make that first half one 22-minute episode.
Yeah, I think
it works better as 44.
Yeah, I mean,
it does, but maybe that was a scrap concept where they were gonna originally make it 22 minutes.
Well, the thing is, I think Day of the Departed was gonna be a full season, and then it ended up getting short down
because of the Ninjago movie.
So
it could have been a season, but it wasn't. So, but anyway, getting into the second half, we just have all these one-off dumb battles with some people.
I would agree. Most of them are pretty one-off, cruddy battles. I mean, the only semi-memorable one I would say that's like pretty good is Pythor versus Lloyd. I think that one was actually done pretty well, but the rest are pretty pointless.
I mean, I don't think Samukai versus Jay wasn't horrible. I think it was
That's true. I guess it wasn't terrible, but
Samukai and Jay didn't have didn't have that relationship that the other ones had, and so there really wasn't anything to ruin. So obviously Lloyd and Pythor's interaction makes sense as an extra action. Cryptor and Zane's was pretty cringe to me personally. And then Shin and Kai and Nia also seemed kind of dumb as well. I just feel like Lloyd's was definitely the best. Jay's was a pretty average, but I don't think they ruined anything with it. And then Kozu, you pinned Kozu with Derek.
It's like, really?
I respectfully disagree. As Zane versus Cryptor, and then Lloyd versus Pythor, and then the rest.
What?
I actually kind of like
this one though. Like, Cryptor literally killed himself with his own Day of the Departed play. They totally ruined his character.
I don't know. I kind of liked it.
I mean, really?
Maybe I need to rewatch it. I think I haven't watched it in a while. I don't know. I remember enjoying that, and also the Lloyd versus Pythor. That one was good.
It's called.
I remember not liking the Samukai versus Jay because Ronan came out of nowhere. I don't know. That was weird because he joined the fight out of nowhere without any foreshadowing, and
It's fair.
it
The
felt like
only
a Deus
force,
Ex Machina, to be honest.
yeah, it does. Another thing I have to say though is like, it's like also one thing you guys were debating. This is called discussion. It's a discussion.
Yeah,
not a
I know.
debate. Look at
You
that.
know,
Look at this. I'm
there is
kidding.
there is no discussion without debating. To be honest,
Fair,
like
fair, fair.
Exactly.
It's true. It's true. But come on. Also stay tuned for Ninjago Debate episode 2 because Brick Lord is in that episode, and also Ninjago Debate episode 4. Blueberry Comics will be in that episode, so stay tuned for both those episodes. Gotta get that advertising in there. Yeah, gotta
Oh, yeah.
gotta advertise.
you gotta promote your
Gotta
channel.
advertise.
You have to.
Gotta promote. All right. Anyway. Getting back to the actual, special. Then basically all these battles are pretty dumb. I don't think we're gonna go into detail about any of these battles because really, none of them were that special. So let's just go back to what Cole's doing. So Cole's fighting these, trying to get to Yang, and he's just battling all these guards. He eventually breaks out of his handcuffs with his super strength, and then there's just this one that he's like, hey, you could team up with me and we could go stop Yang. And it's the one that's named Chuck. And then, dude,
Yeah.
Chuck. And then Chuck just says nothing and just disagrees. And he's like, okay, Chuck, I guess I'm going solo.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure he kicked Chuck into a clock, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Dude, rip Chuck. I guess, but
This
hey,
is-
Chuck still.
So-
What if Chuck didn't even go through the rift? Like, no, Chuck just stayed there.
What a bummer
This
for
is
Chuck, though.
hilarious. This is hilarious.
It is pretty. I will say that, I mean, in my opinion, Chuck is funnier than some of the comic relief characters, even though he says nothing. It's just funny because it kind of makes Cole's just a pretty quirky character, and I just think that the fact that he calls, a student
A
Chuck
random
just-
guy Chuck, yeah.
Yeah, that just sounds like his style. That sounds like something he'd do.
Well,
I
and
feel
it
like
just gives something for Cole being as quirky as he is just to bounce off of and give us something funny, so.
it just really works. And I got a bigger laugh out of that than most of the jokes in the series.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh, quote unquote, but like in my head, I was like, I'm at a chuckle. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Funny. It's funnier than say something like Jay's modern jokes. It's funnier than those.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but let's go ahead and just talk about the confrontation between Cole and Yang. So Cole eventually meets up with Yang, and Yang's trying to use the Yin blade, to open the rift, and he does air jutsu, of course, because he created air jutsu. Also, I think we forgot to mention there was a flashback earlier in the installment where we got to see the flashback of
Yeah.
Yang.
The
Yeah, they
flashback
basically just
was
showed Yang. Like, we could have had more elaboration of how he even found the Yin Blade. It basically says, oh, I was looking for it. Oh, well, I found it. And then I started resurrecting stuff. And then I turned myself into a ghost. Whoopee. We could have had so much more elaboration there.
True. So then we have the confrontation between Cole and Yang, which is just like it felt like if it wasn't rushed, we'd understand what was going on more. But they're just like, but here's literally what I mean. They say a little more than this, but Yang's like, what? Cole's like, why are you doing this? I want to be remembered. You created our jutsu. Oh yeah, I guess I'm a good guy now.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, again, we needed more time. We needed more elaboration and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it all boils down to Yang thinks he's going to be forgotten. And it's like, literally, dude, you created one of the most, greatest martial arts in Ninjago, dude, that makes you fly. It's not like you're going anywhere anytime soon, dude.
And,
really get a grip.
In the beginning, we see those kids going to the temple to visit it, and Yang wouldn't be forgotten.
Yeah.
And then one guy just comes and tells him, "You created something." Oh, I guess. Well, whoopsie. Didn't think that. Oh, whoopsie.
Yeah, it's didn't think that
it's
one
weird.
through.
Also,
Yeah.
I think we'll just skip the pros and cons section since we've kind of been going through our pros and cons while we talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think So
Yeah.
I'll wrap up the plot real quick. But anyway, so basically we have Cole and Yang deciding, like, Cole tells all the students to use their jutsu to do the rift, except maybe Chuck never went through the rift.
Sorry, Chuck.
Chuck's still there. He ain't going anywhere.
Dude, I gotta put Chuck in the thumbnail.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Also,
dude,
in the beginning, I thought that Yang was faking the redemption arc. Like, also, can we call it a redemption arc because it was literally 25 seconds? So
it was the
Yeah.
redemption. It was the redemption 25 seconds.
yeah,
Yes.
in the beginning, I thought that he faked it. It would have been better if he like faked that he was
Here's what would have
sorry.
been better if he faked it. If he faked it, and if he faked his redemption arc, so he could go through the rift first, but then Cole used his, punching abilities and punched Yang and knocked him back to the ground, and he had to stay as the master of the house, and then Cole escapes.
Yeah.
But,
Which was
oh well,
still not.
though. So.
Yeah, but anyway, what actually happens is Yang suddenly. Okay, well, another thing is, like, Yang, you should have already told Cole before you guys were going up there that, only one person can, one person has to stay in the Temple of Jujutsu. Like, Yang, how you Yang just randomly remembers stuff?
Yeah. Right.
And why
But,
can't
oh
they
well.
leave one of the students there? Like, leave Chuck for God's
Oh
sakes
come
and
on! No,
go.
we don't want to leave Chuck.
Actually, the one thing is, if Chuck actually stayed behind, Yang could have actually gone through the rift.
That's true.
Theories.
Theories.
Maybe that's gonna be season 17. Like,
Yeah.
Bro.
what if Chuck stayed there?
No, season 17, Chuck is the main villain. Chuck says, no,
Yeah,
Chuck.
yo, that would be awesome.
Yo. All right. So.
Yeah, season 17, The Revenge of Chuck.
The vengeance.
Oh yeah. So.
Chuck should have been the villain of the special, not Yang.
But yep. So then it ends up with Cole blasting through the rift, and then we get an absolute ear bleeding, just high velocity sound, and then bada bing, Cole's returned.
Yep, and also another thing is obviously we forgot to talk about Mora's redemption, but obviously Mora wasn't a bad guy in this special. Wu at first thought he was, but he revealed he wasn't, and then eventually all the ninjas met back up with Wu and then Moro, and then they first think Moro's a villain, but Moro reveals he's still a good guy, and then he goes back and just literally goes in the exact same pose he was in and just becomes a statue again basically. So kind of glad that he didn't turn evil, but anyway, going back to what we talked about, so there's the ending scene of this special. We have them all kind of in this campfire thing with Cole's dad outside of this Temple of Jutsu, and obviously Jay's just scared of the ghost or something, and he's just like, Jay's still scared of the ghost.
Oh yeah, because it's Scaredy J. What more could we want?
Yeah, right. So we'll go ahead and get to the score. I mean, basically, at the very end, right after Jay says his Scaredy J joke, Cole just looks at Yang. He's like, "There's no more ghosts," and then Yang just looks at him and they wink at each other. And then it basically ends, and obviously Dareth kind of destroyed the museum, but in season 7 he makes the ninjas clean it up. So
dang, what a savage!
It's all a part of the master plan. It's all part of the master.
Dude, that's just mean. I mean, he helped a little bit, but dude, the ninjas. He barely helped clean up. He's the one that made this mess, and he's just making them clean it up. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get into these scores. I'll start with mine, then we'll do Brickboards and Weapons since that's how we did the intro. But
we can say our favorite thing before the score.
We can say our favorite thing. I'll also say where it falls. If you guys can, if you want to, I'll say where it falls in my season ranking, because since that tier list video I made, it has fallen somewhere else. So basically, it's in the bottom half of my season ranking I think basically I gave the island a 6.5 out of 10 and Master of the Mountain a 6.4. No, Master of the Mountain being
Dude,
below.
you're being too generous. Like 5 is like if 6.5 is your least favorite, like 5
It's
is
not
the
my,
average.
these aren't my least favorite. These aren't my least favorite. My least favorite is nah. Those aren't my least favorite. I didn't say. Maybe I said that. Maybe I messed up there. But no, they're not my least favorite. Season 11 is below. Season 11 is below them. I think. I think season 11, the ice chapter and the fire chapter are both below
I
all of
think
that. But
a 6.5 is a good score because
it
uh
um
Mm,
I guess it's right above the island and Master of the Mountain, which are tied. So the island Master of the Mountain are tied, and then right above it is a Day of the Departed at 6.5. I get like what you're saying, Darth Revan, but I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion on it. But
yeah.
anyway, that about does it for my rating. Overall, my favorite thing is Chuck.
oh yes.
No,
So
yeah, Chuck is the best part of the special.
yeah.
Chuck for life.
As for my, oh yeah, Chuck. Yes. As for my rating, anybody who's watched my channel knows that I have Day of the Departed on the lower end. I don't absolutely hate it. I just think that it had so much potential and it was just very underutilized, and there were so many sloppy mistakes, and there was just not enough going for it, where I have to put it on the pretty low end, all things considered, for ranking. I mean, I think that it's probably right around the island for me. I don't know if it maybe would be better or worse, but it's right around the island, which is definitely on like the lower third of my ranking list. I mean, the only thing that's about lower than those is season 11. So,
Yeah. All right. So, well, also, what's your rating out of 10 for it?
oh gosh, probably like 5.5 to 6. I mean, that's about where it would go.
I will agree. I was kind of generous on that on those. It's just I did the math, and that's what all the episodes added up to. And Day of the Departed, I felt like was around the island's level, so I put it around the island in the rating. But anyway, Darth Revan, go ahead and give us your final thoughts. Also, Bricklord, I guess you forgot to say what was your favorite part.
Oh, my favorite part, well, besides our good old friend Chuck there, I actually personally liked the Lloyd Pythor battle, but then Yang and Cole's dialogue was pretty good. That was definitely one of the better things. So those would be my two picks. And Moro, so.
Yeah, yeah. Also, yeah. Anyway, also, yeah. I accidentally called you Darth Revan. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah. Mr. Blue. Okay. Anyway, Blueberry Comics can go ahead and give his final thoughts.
All right. So Day of the Departed is in my bottom half of my Ninjago season ranking. Like you guys, I think it's better than Island, and so my favorite thing is I have two favorite things. First of all, Moro, not because they did something particularly good with him, but they didn't botch him, and that like that if they had ruined his redemption arc, that would be a huge problem. But they didn't,
I
so
would,
that's
if they did, I would have put it at the bottom of, closer to the bottom of my ranking just because of that.
I agree. I agree. And secondly, I love the Wu, where basically Wu talks about Day of the Departed and the lanterns and everything. I just think it's wholesome, and I really like it. It's cute. And so my score would be around 6 to 6.5. No, six is good. 6 out of 10. So
All right.
yeah, and also I love Chuck, like you guys. Like Chuck
Yeah,
is
yeah. We'll
Chuck's
Chuck.
Oh,
golden.
yeah.
All right, guys. If you've actually watched this far through this video, which was probably not supposed to be quite this long, then comment down hashtag Chuck for life in the comments.
Yes.
Yes, Chuck for life.
Anyway,
So,
that about does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. And also, one more thing. So, I don't know if I should probably publicly announce this, but the Ninja Legend team is kind of dying down. They're not really uploading anything, and they're planning on doing some sort of video to end the team here soon. So, because of that, that I won't be involved with them as much, I decided to create my own team, and I'm not sure when we're gonna be, start uploading, but these two guys that are with me for this video will be in that team, and the team will be called the Media Bricks. So, not sure when we'll start uploading, but there is a channel called the Media Bricks. I'll probably leave it in the description of this video. But yeah, stay tuned for those. We'll be talking about like MCU stuff, do podcast about the MCU, we'll do some movie reviews, we'll do just talk about some casual news every few weeks. And so yeah, if you are interested in any of that stuff, you can just maybe whenever we start uploading, I'll probably make a video about it on this channel. So yeah. So is there anything you guys would like to say before we completely wrap this up?
Yeah, I mean, just thanks for having me once again. It was great to do another kind of collab style discussion. I like doing those, and this was great to get into the spirit of spooky season a little bit more. But yeah, so yeah, thanks for having me.
It's totally spooky how bad it is.
Oh yeah.
That's the main scare of the video. No, bro, the main scare. Chuck is the scariest Ninjago character.
By far.
No, bro.
Pennywise when you got Chuck.
No, Pennywise sees Chuck, dies.
Nobody's got nothing on Chuck.
Chuck live action movie invest.
Yes. All right.
But
yeah.
Alrighty though.
Anyway, so anything you would like to say, Garth Revner? You good?
Yeah, well, it was great being with you guys and chatting about Day of the Departed. I'm really excited about Halloween. It's one of my favorite celebrations of the year. And it was great being with you here, guys. And goodbye.
Alrighty, see ya.
Well, see you guys. So thank you all for watching this video. If you made it all the way through, I know it might have been a little cringe, and I know there might have been a bit too much talking about Mr. Chuck, but trust me, Chuck is a god. So anyway, thank you guys for watching once again, and stay tuned for more of my videos. Hopefully Ninjago Debate will, hopefully if Ninjago Debate episode 2 is not out by now, hopefully it'll come out soon. But yeah, see ya.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.